Paulina, I don't understand why you are so reluctant to take this old bag off our hands. You know that we have just tied the knot recently, don't you? Surely you would agree that it would be more suitable for you to take care of her rather than letting her interfere with our honeymoon phase as newlyweds.
Amber, I haven't heard from you in a long time. When you used the term old bag, were you really talking about my mother?
Who else do you think deserves that fitting name? I need you to take charge of dealing with this miserly and irritating old weirdo for us.
Could you please refrain from using all of those awful names to refer to her? She is my mother, you know.
I have no concern for that, Paulina. I'm simply describing her as she truly is, am I not? A penniless old bag. If you don't hurry up and come over here to take her away, I'll have no choice but to throw her out of our home.
Amber, do you realize that it is my mom who has been requesting to come and stay with my elder brother? And it's not only her who desires it, but also my elder brother. And yet you're speaking about her in that manner? It appears to me that you are not displaying any respect for our family, is that correct? Referring to her as things like annoying and poor are the kinds of things that will cause her a lot of distress and might drive her to become more aloof from you.
I'm certain that you just want to view her in the most positive light because she was the sole person who raised you. But to me, someone who grew up in a wealthy family, the only way I can perceive her is as a moneyless bag. I pity the woman, but having to tolerate her is making me crazy.
You really feel bad for her? Judging from the way you constantly talk about her, I'm not detecting any part of you that genuinely cares enough about her to utter such things. It's saddening to listen to all this from you. What has my mom done to make you so angry with her that you'd speak such impolite things?
That old bag is awful at preparing tasty meals for us.
What are you talking about?
The sole thing she can cook well is awful food. And as for the clothing she puts on, it all resembles used clothing purchased at some thrift store. Merely looking at her fashion sense makes me feel nauseous.
You're forcing my mom to cook while she's staying with you? Are you joking with me?
What exactly are you implying with your words? It is obvious that she is a burden to us. We are the ones who are generously letting her stay in our house with us. So the least she can do is cook some decent meals for us.
No, I disagree with you completely. I feel that if anything, you should be the one cooking for her as a sign of gratitude and respect.
And just be aware that I know all about how your whole family has no money to spare. Because you all had to be raised by a single mother who struggled to make ends meet. I feel that just because you don't have the financial means to support her poor lifestyle, you shouldn't be forcing someone like myself and your older brother to do so. Especially when not long ago, Kevin was able to get into a great company that pays him well. If we didn't have this old, useless woman over here, then we'd have enough money to do all sorts of things we want, like traveling or shopping.
If you have the time to talk trash about my mom behind her back, then how about you go talk to my brother about her face to face instead of me? He is the one who invited her to live with you, after all.
Huh? What are you saying right now? Kevin and I are doing so well together as a couple. I have no need for you to tell me how to work my relationship with him or his mother.
Well, I'm not trying to control what you both do in your relationship. And if you really are doing well together, that's good to hear. But the way you're talking about my mom right now is not acceptable at all. You sitting there texting me all these complaints you have about her is not acceptable either. And I will not let you say anything more to me that insults her. If you really don't want my mom living over there with you guys anymore, then go tell that to my brother's face, please. Tell me, why are you not able to do that? If things between you two are going so well, then you should be able to communicate honestly with him.
Right now, Kevin is really happy believing that I'm great at taking care of his mom for him. He buys me all sorts of brand bags and things like that to repay me for it. That's why I'm asking you to take care of this old bag for me and get her out of our lives. If he were to find out something like me kicking her out, then this whole awesome relationship we have would fall apart and I would lose everything.
So this all has to do with you getting the things you want without having to make any sacrifices, huh? Understood. But this is not something I can do anything about. If you really want her to stop living there with you, go talk to your husband about it and see what he thinks. And actually, you should really be talking with my mom about this so you can understand her side of the story. I think she can explain to you that she's not the kind of person you think she is. She's a kind and loving mother who deserves better than this.
I don't get what you're on about. If you don't let me continue having a great relationship with your brother, I'm going to make both you and your mother pay for it. I'm going to make your lives miserable and ruin everything for you.
And if you think that's such a good idea, then I'll make sure you pay for your actions tenfold. I'll make you regret ever messing with me and my mom. Goodbye now, and don't ever contact me again.
Paulina, that hurricane today was absolutely crazy, right? It was so powerful and destructive. But there was something funny about it all, though. Something that made me laugh a lot. Would you like to hear about it? I'm sure you would.
Something funny about it? Well, I'm sure whatever this something may be, it won't come without a price. A price that you will have to pay sooner or later. But go ahead, tell me what it is. I'm curious.
Right in the middle of the night, while the hurricane was raging and howling, I sent that moneyless old hag outside. I kicked her out of the house and locked the door behind her. And now, this place is all mine. All mine and Kevin's. That's why I said before that you should have hurried up and come and gotten that grandma. You should have taken her away from here. I wonder how things are going for her now. Well, I wonder if she's still alive or not.
You are the worst, Amber. The worst person I have ever met. That house is supposed to be like a home to my mom. A place where she can feel safe and loved. But you took it from her without even asking. You don't even care about her feelings. You are so cruel and heartless, Amber.
I'm telling you right now that you need to take care of that moneyless old bag, all right? You and her can get along, both agreeing on things like not having any money or time to have fun. Both live a miserable and boring life. You two deserve each other.
I can see you're having a ball saying all that stuff about her. But what if my brother were to find out about this? What do you think might happen? Do you think he would still love you? Well, I'm sure that if Kevin knows about this, he will not want to be with you.
You go ahead and let him know what happened, all right? Okay, go ahead and tell him everything. Tell him that it wasn't my fault, and that your mom chose to leave the house all by herself in the middle of the night. Make sure you tell her exactly what I said, word for word. You wouldn't want to ruin the most amazing relationship your older brother has with me, right? You wouldn't want to make him unhappy, right?
Ugh, you are so annoying and manipulative. You make me sick.
We have no need for someone in this house who doesn't have any money to share. Someone who is a burden and a nuisance. I wanted this house for myself. So, I tossed your mom into the hurricane to find her way somewhere else. To find another place to leech off of.
If you're talking about my mom as though she's lost out there, you have it all wrong. She's not lost. She's with my brother and I at her condo. She's safe and happy.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
You are really the most stupid woman in Florida. Do you realize that you were so clueless and ignorant?
What do you mean by that? What's going on here? What condo are you talking about? What are you hiding from me?
My mom happens to have a condo that she frequents every so often, and soon Kevin will be coming back here as well. He's on his way right now. He's coming to see his mom and me.
Huh? A condo? Wait a minute, I don't get it. Have you completely lost your mind now too? Are you lying to me?
Ah, that's right. You probably never knew about the condo she holds on to, right? Well, it so happens that my mom has a lot of properties that you'll probably know nothing about. And to be honest, she's come from a life of fortune that probably even you could never fathom. That's how rich my mom is. She's a millionaire.
What? She has a lot of properties? She's a millionaire? Hold on a second. I have no idea what you're trying to talk to me about right now. This makes no sense.
I'm sure that you don't. And I'm sorry about that. Lowlifes like you wouldn't have the mental capacity to understand what it's like to being rich, right? I'm sure this is all a bit difficult for you. Well, you not being able to understand what it's like to have money is none of my problem.
Wait, can you please explain this in a way I can understand? Tell me what the hell has happened? How did this happen?
My mom was only living in that house with you two because she wanted to live with my brother. She wanted to spend some time with him and support him. But she was kicked out of that house last night, and so she invited me to come out and live with her for a while at her condo. Her condo that is much nicer and bigger than your house.
I never heard about her owning any condos. Why didn't you tell me?
And I can see that now. But we never told you about them in the first place. We didn't want you getting all nervous and jealous about my mom having all that money and all her properties. So we decided to make things more comfortable for you by not saying anything about it. We just wanted to make it seem simple and easy. And that's why we said my brother wanted her to come live with him, and she wanted to live with him as well. And she was hoping to have a close relationship with you as well there. But instead it turns out that you're a terrible person. And because of that, you made yourself look bad in front of her. All she was trying to do was make things less complicated for you. Yet you took all the wrong way and forced her out. You made a big mistake.
Make things less complicated for me? What does that even mean?
You can think about that one yourself. But in the end, you kicked her out of the house in the middle of a hurricane. And I went there to get her in my car. And we both went back to her condo and are having a party right now to celebrate being free from you. All our family and friends are here too, having a wonderful time. So please don't come over ruining it for us. And you don't have to worry about her anymore, because she's already made it clear to us that she'll never live around you again.
What the heck? Are you for real? Your mom had a condo and you're all partying right now? This all makes zero sense to me. But you're telling me that an old hag like her that buys clothing from a secondhand store has all that?
She was only wearing that clothing to make you feel better around her. You really should be thankful that she did all of that for you.
So you're telling me that your mom really has a lot of money, right? Yet she just acted like she was poor while she lived with us?
It's not like she was trying to lie to you or anything. She just didn't want to stress you with thinking that she required more from you than you could give.
Are you trying to say that I'm poor or something?
I'm not trying to say it all that straight, but... Well, if you compare your life with the one my mom lives, you are pretty poor. But even after my mom tried to be nice to you by not acting all rich and snobby, you still acted out and treated her like she was the poor one, which we all understand very well now.
Huh? No, wait a second, Paulina. If you're really telling the truth about her having lots of money, then this is a totally different story. I didn't know at the time that she had all that money and all those properties under her name. I was just being fair with her by saying that she was a poor old bag because of the way she dressed and acted.
And that right there was way too thoughtless of you. Her being poor and without a lot of money didn't have anything to do with you being her daughter-in-law. She just wanted things to be about being a family, and that's all. She really wanted to become a good family with you, and that was her only goal. However, instead of becoming friends with you, all she received was earfuls of you calling her horrible things all the time.
Wait, that wasn't what I had planned on doing.
Well, at this point, we are all aware that you're not the kind of person who is willing to be open-minded towards others. And since my mom is the most aware of that, she no longer needs to be around you. So, with all of that being said, we'd like you out of that house.
Huh? What? Why would I be the one to leave this house now? This is supposed to be our house.
Come on. You understand by now that you have no right to that house now, right? My brother will most likely be talking to you about this later. But that house is under my mom's name.
Huh? Are you sure?
So you really didn't know about that either then? My mom didn't want to say anything to you because all you do is talk trash about her. Either way, my mom was letting the two of you live in that house as a present from her for your wedding.
Huh? I didn't know anything about that either. I just assumed that Kevin had bought this place with his own money.
My brother only just got his first job working full-time. So do you really think that he'd have the ability to afford a place like that? I'm just saying that that place is not yours to live in. And so my mom will have you kicked out of there very soon if you don't leave willingly. She had hopes of one day giving that place to you guys and having her name removed, but I don't think she will be doing that for either of you guys now.
She won't give us this house? Huh?
She's telling me that as long as you're with my brother, she's not even going to continue to help him with the loan.
Huh? Loan?
Like I said, my brother only just started his first full-time job, and so he doesn't have the income to get his own loan yet. So in order to help him have a house for the two of you, or I suppose 3 of you could live in, she got a loan and helped him pay it off with some of her wealth.
I didn't even know about that part. What does all of this mean then? Are you trying to say that he doesn't have the income right now to afford the place?
Well, like I've said, he's very fresh to this world of business and working. You really had no clue about anything regarding him, huh? Honestly, I'm sure you were told all of this before, but you didn't want to understand it, so you just ended up ignoring him, right?
If his mom ends up stepping to help with that loan, what'll happen to us?
Well, you both will no longer be able to pay it off in time, and things will begin to fall apart there, right? She really tried her best to give Kevin everything as well. But it's all because of his own wife that your lives will fall apart.
Paulina? This time was a little... Well, this time I was just a little confused about things. And I'm sorry if that hurts you in any way, but right now, I understand everything completely, alright? So, we can get back to becoming a happy family together again, right?
Get back to?
Can you tell your mom that she's allowed to come back to our house now? Actually, let her know that I'll be coming to her condo. I think I should get some things together now to spend the night there. I'm sure you're all fine now with me coming to that party, right?
Really? Nice joke, Amber. You almost had me believing all of that as well for a bit.
Huh? Why are you saying that?
It's a little too late for you to act all happy and upbeat about what's happened. Mom has already told us she no longer wants to have any ties with you. And I thought that was implied by everything I was telling you this whole time. There is no longer going to be a day where she wants to be in your company. Honestly, you'll never even be hearing from her again, Amber.
What? Hold on. Okay, so does this really mean I'm going to have to leave this house? If I get tossed out of here, I'll be in real trouble. And if she were to cause some kind of trouble for Kevin, do you know what that might do to our marriage?
That's not something I care about. This is all because of the way you treated my mom, right? To break it to you in the most straight way possible, the way you've acted has made an enemy of my mom. And I had warned you of that sooner, right? I ask that you no longer talk poorly of my mom and maybe go chat with her about all of your complaints.
Then you should have just told me about all this instead of letting me continue.
Huh? I'm not your freaking parent.
But you could have at least told me that she was loaded, and then none of this would have happened. I would have never said anything bad about her after that. And we could all be living our dreams right now.
The fact that you only change your attitude from good to bad based on someone else's money shows me that you're just the scummiest person on the planet. You think I want you to be around my mom when you're that kind of monster?
Paulina, this is getting really bad. I'm getting call after call from Kevin right now. Does he already know about what happened to your mom?
Well, he just arrived a couple of minutes ago, and my mom explained everything to him.
You're lying, right? That means I'm completely screwed now.
Exactly. You always liked making everyone else have to deal with your crap, but it seems this time all that crap is coming for you. Well, that's all I have to say about things. You are done for, Amber. Now, I'd answer the next call from him if I were you. The old woman that you kept calling a moneyless old bag? Well, that's going to be you in the next 10 years or so, you idiot. In the end, Kevin found out all about the things that Amber had been up to and told her that he wanted a divorce. He also told her that his mom would have the house sold back to the bank and that they'd all be moving out, so she had no choice but to leave. But he tried going to her mother-in-law about all of this and begged for forgiveness. But everyone in the family had had enough of her and ignored all her pleas. Amber ended up being kicked out of the house by the bank and was not able to go back home to her parents, who cut ties with her, leaving her to live life on the road. Had she only been a bit nicer to those she knew little about, she'd be having the time of her life living with enough money to keep her entertained. Even Paulina's mom was thinking so much about becoming close to her daughter-in-law that she was getting ready to leave them one of her condos as a place to spend their time off. But that idea was quickly crushed by Amber being such a miserable person. I guess it's a good thing this all happened to my mom, because we learned far sooner that Amber was nothing more than a self-centered child deep inside, and that a condo wouldn't fit that kind of personality. Now Amber is stuck working as a factory worker, breaking down tuna and canning them all for minimum wage at around 60 hours per week. She does this from sunrise to sunset, all while thinking about how badly she screwed up by acting like the complete child to her in-laws. I'm sure it's really tough for her now, but this is what she deserves to help her realize. As for the rest of the family, they have all gone back to living their lives as normal. Paulina is back at her place, getting back to work and living her life as she always has. And Kevin has gone back with his mom to her condo with all his and her things to live there for a while until he has enough money saved up for his own house. I feel bad that this all happened to Kevin, really, as he didn't do anything wrong to deserve losing the gift that his mother gave him. But I'm sure that somewhere down the line, she'll be willing to help him again with another gift.